Hi, my name is Nyesha Stone, and again, I am the founder of the media company Carvd N Stone Incorporated. And I just want to thank you all again for coming to my panel. This is my first time moderating, so don't judge me too harshly. But I'm very excited. So again, give yourselves another round of applause for making it out on this Monday night. So today we are here for the CNS Panel with 2020 DNC Organizers. So the reason I put this panel together is because I've been to a lot of panels, DNC related, but they've been downtown, they've been on the east side, and the only reason I've actually got into the panels or the meetings is because I was a journalist. I actually couldn't afford to go to the meetings myself. So I thought, that's not right, because we all deserve to hear what's going on in our city, because we live here. So I decided, you know what, let me take it upon myself, use my platform to bring something to my community. I actually live 2 minutes away from here, on 72nd and Village, so I'm very, very excited to have my first actual event, well, not my first actual event, but my first event here in 53218 where I live. So this is a very big accomplishment for me. My mom's an audience panel. So enough about me. Again, we're here to talk about the Democratic National Convention. The convention is supposed to come here, well, it is coming here next year in July for 4 days. So for 4 days, there's about thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are supposed to come to our city. We should be a part of this. $200 million is estimated to impact our economy. We need to be a part of the conversation, so that's why we're here. We're going to spend about, I say, 35 to 40 minutes of me asking them questions, but then we're going to open it up for 30 minutes for the audience and the community to ask questions, because I've been to a lot of panels and they only open it up for 5-10 minutes and then rush everybody out. But I really, really, really want y'all to share your point, share your opinion and your voice, especially the youth. This is for the youth. I'm only 23, so the youth that I've seen here, really share your voice. Don't be scared because they're from the DNC or whatever. You have a voice and it matters, and you need to make sure that it matters, or people are going to keep talking over you. Sorry for that. Okay. So now we're here with the DNC Organizers, the Milwaukee 2020 Host Committee. So right here, we have Lafayette Crump, who is Milwaukee 2020 Host Committee Vice President of Diversity, Vendor Accountability, and Growth. Right next to him, we have Liz Gilbert, Milwaukee 2020 Host Committee President, and Jorge Neri. I didn't want to say it wrong at all. He's the Senior Director of Public Engagement, and my name again is Nyesha Stone, and I will be your moderator. And right now, I just want to open it up to the panelists just to give a couple of minutes for each of them to explain what they do and how their role is helping make sure that everyone is involved with the DNC in Milwaukee.
Great, well, I'll start. First of all, thank you for having us here, Nyesha, and thanks again. I won't make you applaud again, but this is a fantastic turnout. I'm excited to see it. I'm also excited because regardless of what happened in 2016, I get to sit between 2 female presidents. That's pretty amazing, so I love that. As Nyesha said, I am Vice President of Diversity, Vendor Accountability, and Growth, which it'll be more words, but in clearer terms, I'm handling our purchasing that we're doing. We'll be raising and spending quite a bit of money. I'll let maybe Liz talk about that. But my role is to ensure that as we do that, we are including people from all parts of the city, people from all demographics. So we want to make sure, we know that Milwaukee has, many people of color, many people, other diversity, people with other diverse categories and qualities, and we just want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to play here, that we're being fair and being very intentional about including people throughout the city and the region.
Hey everybody, I am Liz Gilbert. I'm serving as the president for the host committee. Just so I can get a frame of reference, what is our kind of age range here tonight? Maybe for some of the younger folks to let me know, like how old are some of our interested parties here tonight? Anybody? 23?
The second row, how old are you?
18, 14.
14?
Yep.
11.
Amazing. Awesome. That's why you gotta ask this question. All right, some other teenagers around here, I see you. This is so awesome to be here truly for a Monday night. This is amazing. So I'll start with something that is really important to me. I'm the youngest person to ever serve in this job. And so I'll start there because while I might not any longer be a teenager, my parents are very thrilled about that. I it was not too long ago that I knew kind of where you all work and what you're thinking about. And so every decision that we make as a host committee will be within the eyes of young people. Because for me, very personally, this is a very personal thing. We have to get this right for young people. I did not go to college to study to work on a convention host committee. I'm a trained teacher, and I kind of found my way through a lot of different roles and responsibilities into this job of a lifetime, but it takes a lot of trying different things to get to where you are. You gotta try a lot of different roles and jobs, and maybe try and go different places and meet new people and broaden your horizons, and I never would have dreamt that I would have had this opportunity. So as much as I can't wait to talk about the convention, really excited to talk about where all of you are in life, what you might be thinking about in terms of how to interact with politics and civics and other things. So please come with the tough questions, we love them. But for me as president of the organization, one of the most important things that we had to do when we started over the summer was building up our team. You are only as good as the team that you have around you. I believe that very, very personally. And so we looked far and wide to make sure that we had a team that reflected our values. Our team is majority from Wisconsin. It is majority minority. It is majority women. And so these were some things that were really important to us as we were building up the crew that was gonna actually pull this thing off. So happy to answer your questions, really looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you guys again for being here tonight.
Hi everybody, so I manage the politics for the convention. I work very closely with national organizations and all of the state parties and people that are coming to the convention, along with local organizations. We're looking to figure out how to set up events across the country, and think through, you know, making sure that we are being inclusive and thoughtful about the politics that we have in the state and about how we're interacting. So anyone from the presidential candidates down to local representatives I work with, along with big national nonprofits that you may have heard of, to very local nonprofits, and making sure that everyone's working together to experience the convention and participate in it.
Thank you all for that. So let's just hop right into it. So the very first question I have for you three, and whoever can answer it, but I will highlight if all three of you answer it. For the Black and brown communities, why should they even care about engaging with the DNC? And I'm talking about specifically people like me, a creative, or local rappers, or local skateboarders, people who make art. What is the DNC, and why should we even care to even pay attention, and how do we get involved?
Well, I'll start with the fact that you should get involved because it's here. And you should get involved because it's going to affect your lives. It's going to affect all of our lives. This is participative democracy at its finest. We are bringing one of the premier events that only happens twice every 4 years in this country to Milwaukee. And if we don't play a part in that, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're cheating ourselves. And so that's one of the reasons that I was so excited that I got a chance to be a part of this. I grew up in Milwaukee. I grew up on 27th and Burleigh. I remember my high school did a pretend political convention when I was in high school. And it's amazing to me to actually be a part of a real one now, and to know that the things that are happening here are not just going to affect this city and this state and the people in it, but that we get a chance to be a part of it. So I would say young people should embrace this as their opportunity to be on the ground floor of something that could impact your lives, not just for the next year, not just the next 4 years, but some of the decisions that are made, some of the things that are talked about, and maybe Jorge could talk a little bit about some of the things that will occur at the convention. But we have to care. We can't just be on the sidelines. In my role in looking for business opportunities for people, I have so many companies and people that reach out to me directly without me finding them. And those people who are reaching out directly don't often look like me. And so it is so important that I go out and find them. We use the word intentional a lot. And so I'm out there trying to find people, tell them about opportunities, and make sure that they sign up, make sure they know what's out there, make sure they know who they can partner with. But as much as I'm trying to do that, and as much as we have an amazing team that is helping me do that, I can't get to everybody. And so we have to take responsibility to be on the front lines and reach out and be a part of everything that's available to us and not just wait for people to come to us. And that's what I think why Black and brown people need to care about it.
So this convention, any convention, but in particular this one, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It really is amazing what a convention can do for a community. And do you think this one's on? What a convention can do for a community, in particular this one, is a pretty remarkable thing. I mean, you already talked about the economic impact, and that's really like up here, what does that number mean? Who does that impact? All of that. Taking it down to the ground level, somebody said to me, you know, we really need to think about this convention like we're about to have company, right? So like Milwaukee is the host, this is the home. And so when you're about to have company, what do you do to prepare? You might not be the person greeting at the door. You might not be sitting at the dinner table with the distinguished guests, but it's your home. And so what do you want that impression to be? And every single person will play a part. And if you do not let people who look like you and talk like you and act like you and care like you be part of this, then we're not really showcasing Milwaukee for what it is, right? And so it is really incumbent upon this city and every single one of you in here, no matter your age or no matter what you are up to next summer, to make sure that we're really showcasing Milwaukee for everything that it is. Milwaukee is an incredible city, and most of the folks coming next summer have not been here before. And they might not have a perception of what is going on here and what the city is really about. And so there is such a perception to shape for all of these visitors. We're gonna have 50,000 visitors next summer. That is a lot of company that we are expecting. And so you might not be able to greet every single person, or you might not be able to touch every single piece of it, but I can assure you that the actions of every single person in this room will all build together to create that environment that we're gonna have here next summer. That's kind of like another 30,000 foot view thing. Another thing is conventions are just really cool. There are gonna be a lot of cool people coming to town. I know I'm a little older, but I still feel like I have like a little credibility with what cool is. I see some eyebrow raising, that's fine, okay? There are really awesome influencers and decision makers, and forget that, celebrities. I mean, we have a lot of really interesting folks coming to town. And so to be part of that in any way, whether it's shaping the perception, whether it's volunteering, whether it is welcoming people to your home, everything is gonna play a huge part. And as we know who's coming to town and what they'll be doing, we will definitely be sure to get that over to you and to everyone in this room so you know what we're up to and you know what's going on so you can be part of it as much as possible.
You know, I think for me, like my own upbringing, I was raised by a single mom. We grew up in the south side of Chicago in a really, really rough neighborhood. I didn't think this was an opportunity. I didn't know what my life could be. I've been very, very fortunate in life. I was able to work at the White House. I've accomplished things that I didn't think I would be able to. And it's because I took an internship that was able to pay me. And I put my head down and worked really hard and met the right people and worked every single day in order to accomplish my goals. And I think that for folks here, especially the young folks, you may not know what you want to do. You may not know what you want to be, but surrounding yourself by people that are helping to shape the agenda. And when you look up at that room, and I know when I was coming up, when I looked up, there wasn't people that looked like me. There wasn't people in the roles that I've had that looked like me. And I know it's my job now to make sure that when I move up, someone that looks like me moves behind me. And in order to do that, you have to get involved. You have to care. Because I've been there. I've been there not knowing what I want, being completely lost, and finding something that I was good at, and for the first time someone telling me, hey, you know what, you're good at something. Hey, you know what, you should try this. And hitting my lane and continuing to do it, and making it to the top levels of politics. And I still have a long way to go. There's still a lot of people that are above me, but I know it's my job now to make sure that I'm reaching back. And it's your job for folks that aren't involved to step into that. And we're making sure that we're trying to recruit folks, that we're trying to give people opportunity. You know, whenever I build a team, I always say that, you know, I can teach someone how to knock doors, I can teach someone how to make a phone call, I can teach someone how to be involved, but I can't teach culture. And I can't teach that what you know, what it's like when you walk to the corner store, that you know what it's like to struggle paycheck from paycheck, that these policies that affect your family at a real level, no one knows that better than you. And I remember feeling that, and whenever I've gone in to make a policy decision, or whenever I've gone in to really work with someone, I remember that. So it's important for you to get involved, because it may not seem like you're there now, but you're gonna get there eventually. Whether it's in politics, whether it's in skating, whether it's in rapping, whatever it is, you will get there if you work hard enough.
I like this dialogue. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know how it was gonna go. So again, I'm still a little nervous, but I just want to go piggyback off what Jorge said a little bit. You have to take on every opportunity that comes your way, if it's a good one for you. You have to weigh your options and make sure if that is a good opportunity, you have to take it on. And when it comes to this DNC, yeah, cool, a whole bunch of Democrats coming in town, politics, yada, yada, yada. But realistically, there are a lot of people coming into town that can change all of our lives. There are journalists from around the world. One journalist could come in, cover your stuff, and now go up. What are you going to be doing within those 4 days to make sure that journalist is covering you? So these are the type of things I want you to think about. Yeah, okay, I want you to vote. Yeah, I want you to get involved with politics, but I really want you to think about you and your future. This is a really big opportunity. By you just being in this room, you're directly sitting right in front of the people who are putting on a convention that's going to bring $200 million to the city. Don't you want to know these people? Don't you want to talk to these people? These people could really change your lives in some way. You got to figure it out, but you got to be working hard. As Jorge said, things don't just come to you. This panel didn't just come. It's a lot of hard work, but you got to remember, hard work pays off, and you got to keep going. So that was my little side note. Okay, but back to the panel. So could we just describe a little bit about the DNC and exactly like what is it and what the heck will be going on within these 4 days?
So the convention, so taking a handful of steps back, there are two entities that put on every convention, no matter which political party, no matter what year it is, there are two entities. One is the host committee, which works on basically on behalf of the city and the state. So it is the entity that is in charge of hosting and funding this thing. So it is the civic organization, so nothing political. So you won't hear me talking about turning Wisconsin blue or, you know, beating Donald Trump. That's not host committee. For us, it is how do we make sure Milwaukee is the best host for this convention, and what are we showing off in terms of our hospitality, our civic engagement, our community engagement? What are we doing for Milwaukeeans? That's the host committee, and so that would happen Republican side, Democratic side, no matter what year, no matter what convention. On the other side of the coin, you have, in our case, the DNCC, the Democratic National Convention Committee, which is in charge of all of that official work. So the delegate movements, the party platform, the speaking order, everything going on in that arena for 4 days. And so they are developing the infrastructure to get ready for the nominee, no matter whomever he or she is, when they come to town. The DNCC is really getting this infrastructure ready, and then you marry the two, and that's kind of these like governing bodies overseeing what's going on here. The convention will basically last for an entire week. I say basically because there are 4 official days of proceedings. So we're looking at Monday, July 13th until Thursday, July 16th, 2020. Mark it on your calendars if it's not there already. And so what will happen during the day on those 4 days is the DNC will have official party business. This is caucus meetings, this is different events and panels and different official Democratic National Committee and campaign work, amongst many other things. And then from the late afternoon into the evening, the official proceedings will take place inside of the arena. Before all of that kicks off, so we're looking at the Saturday and Sunday beforehand, there will be an official welcome event for the 15,000 members of the national and international media. So there are 3 members of the press for every 1 delegate. So when you talk about press, we got a lot of media coming to town, and so that's a great point that you made. I love that. So we'll do an official media welcome party the Saturday beforehand. The Sunday beforehand, so July 12th, there will be the official welcome for the delegates, and these are the delegates from all 50 states and all of the territories, and they're coming to town. Again, a lot of them have never been here, so it's developing that perception for them, the official welcome for them. So that's our Saturday, Sunday. We have the 4 days of the convention, and then the Friday afterwards, so Friday, July 17th, after those balloons have fallen, we'll do an official thank you event for everybody who volunteered with us during the convention. So that is our Saturday to Friday kind of rundown. That, cool. That's our schedule.
So how can the people in this room get involved with the DNC when it comes to volunteering and specifically financially as well? I really want some like hard facts, or not just sign up at a portal, but what can the people in this room that put together events or, you know, cater, well, how can they financially get involved or volunteer?
Well, you put me in a tough spot because the first answer is sign up on the portal.
I knew that was coming.
But definitely go to Milwaukee2020.com. That is your first step. You can find out where you can sign up to volunteer. You can also sign up your business to talk about the specific services that you might be able to provide. If anybody out here has a space, people who have restaurants or offices or any kind of space where people might want to hold an event, you can sign up there as well. So those are the official first steps. You sign up on the portal, and that's just so that we know about you. You can find out in those spots also where you can reach out to specific people or specific departments on the host committee to tell us a little bit more about yourself. I will be sticking around at the end of this. I have cards if anybody wants to reach out to me. We can talk more directly about what you do and how to get involved. We will have information coming out down the road about exactly what volunteers will be doing and about other ways that people can get involved. And it's not just during the convention itself. We will have many opportunities to volunteer from now through the convention, and we are finding people who provide services and products and can put on events and things like that. That has already started, so the opportunity exists from now through July of next year. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we just need people to reach out directly to us. Tell us what you're interested in, and not just your service or your product, but if you have an idea. You know, we've got an amazing team. We've got people who have put on conventions, you know, many times over. People who are really good at what they do, but we don't have every great idea in the world. Some of you have ideas, things that we haven't even thought of about how to get people involved. So when you ask, you know, how are we going to get young people involved? Part of it's going to be what we do, but it's going to be things we haven't even thought of yet. So some of the ideas that people in this room might have, that Nyesha might have, are going to help us connect further with people.
I think the other thing is understanding that, you know, like, oh, I don't have a catering business, I don't have this, we're going to be hiring makeup artists, hairstylists, they're booking everything. There's so many people here that are going to come in to use all sorts of services during this time. And if you have those businesses, those are things that eventually we will be building on a list. I think the biggest thing is also this internship. They could talk a little bit more about it, but it's a paid internship. And again, that's how I got involved. I wouldn't be able to do an internship or been able to do this had it not been paid the one that I did. And I was able to kind of find my lane there, work really hard, and move my way up. And that's not going to happen for everybody, but at least you'll get some money in your pocket in the short term. Make sure that you take it serious though, and do it. Whether it's here or whether it's with some of these other companies that are going to be hiring during that time, I would just recommend that you do that and you get involved. But also, you know, get your inner hustler on. Like, there's going to be all sorts of things that happen. Like, if this were happening in my city and I was like trying to figure it out, I would have signed up for Lyft, Uber, had a t-shirt printing business, and like a cooler in my back selling Gatorade. Like, that's the type of stuff that I would have thought of back in the day, right? Like, just imagine when there's going to be that many people there, the things that you're going to be able to do and the people that you're going to be able to interact with.
A quick piece on that internship that I can't say enough, again, how personally, I think all of us, I know I kind of outed myself here as a young person to have this job, but we're all young people, right? So like when you look at the leadership of this convention, it's young people trying to do right by other young people. And so for us, we're very excited to be the first host committee to do a paid internship program. You can find out more about it on our website. Sorry for the website plug, but it's Milwaukee2020.com. You can go online, you can see what we're up to, and you can see if it might be the right fit for you. We encourage you to check it out. We're very excited about it, and if you might not be able to intern with us over these next 38 weeks or whatever might make sense, we are going to have a program within our volunteer corps. So we do have to recruit a 15,000 member volunteer corps. It's a lot of people because we have a lot of company coming, as you know. And so of these 15,000, we're going to be starting a program to figure out how we can help with, hesitant to use the word stipend, but how to financially support some of our volunteers to make sure that we're offsetting the cost of unfulfilled wages, transportation, housing, etc. So if you say, I want to volunteer for the 4 days, not sure I can do an internship after you've already checked it out and ruled it out, be in touch with us and let us know that you want to volunteer, and let us know what you might need to make that happen for you, because we do not believe that you have to be financially sound enough to be a volunteer. We want anyone to be able to volunteer with us, no matter of socioeconomic status, no matter of really anything. We think it is the right of all Americans to be able to engage with us on this convention. So we take that incredibly seriously, and so please be in touch with us on that as well.
So during the DNC, there are going to be official events. They're going to be at the Pfizer Forum. I always say that wrong, so apologize if I said that wrong. Just now there. And surrounding areas. So I'm not sure how many events will be there, but 1,000 or so?
2,000.
2,000 will be held down there within the 4 days. But so many people are going to be in town, and not everybody is invited to the DNC. None of us are really invited to the DNC. So around the city and around surrounding areas, we could be throwing events. So if you're an event organizer, you could be throwing a music event. Now the reporter, who you know is tired of covering the convention, they can go cover your music show. Local rappers, now you put on, because now you have out-of-state reporter reporting on your music. So there, you have to start thinking very creative like this. I didn't think about the t-shirt thing. If y'all got t-shirts, be out on the corner and selling t-shirts. Don't feel bad. They do it in California all the time. They do it in New York all the time. Y'all just gotta be very, very creative of how y'all wanna get involved. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, ain't nobody just gonna sit out there and be like, here's a contract, here's some money, work with us. You gotta really prove yourself, because again, you're not the only one that wants this spot. So, but that doesn't mean to say you don't deserve it, because we all deserve it. Everybody in this room deserves it, no matter how young you are. 11, 12, 25, 58, whatever, if you're working, you deserve it. So to the people that want to throw events that aren't officially with the DNC, what advice would you give to those people to make sure that it's successful, and that the people that throw the event are somehow connected with the people that come to the DNC? So for example, say I throw a music show, is there going to be a calendar event that I can upload it to? Like, how do I make sure that like the people that are coming to town can know about the event that I'm throwing, because it's for them?
Well, a couple of different things. So as we mentioned, 2,000 events. That is from now through the DNC. So there'll be, I think the number is about 1,500 during the DNC, 500 leading up to it, and they will be throughout the city. So not just downtown, not just around Pfizer Forum. And I get myself now, just like I say. But we hope that there will be events, as I mentioned, that are touching all of the different neighborhoods in the city. So one thing that people should think about, though, is, and you've made a great point, that not everything will be in an official event of the DNC or an official event of the host committee. There are many opportunities for people to thrive and make money because this is happening here. That is part of that $200 million economic impact, that this city will be abuzz during that time. There's going to be so much going on, and there are going to be people perhaps who normally would be doing things downtown who want to get away from downtown because there are all these things going on. So there's so much opportunity, and I would say the most important thing is for people to put their best foot forward leading up to this, to not just think, oh, here's a chance to do something really quick or to get over on somebody, but put on your best event during that time.
So I'm gonna ask one last question before I open it up to the audience. Thank you for being so patient, and I know some of y'all falling asleep, it's okay. I see y'all, but y'all can liven it back up, because y'all got questions, and come with the questions, come hard with the questions. Don't take it easy, be very honest, but be respectful. So, one last question I have for you is, the people that are in this room and the people that are in this community, what do you want them to leave this event, and the people that are, Facebook Live, if you see this panel, what do you want them to leave knowing, or what impact do you want this panel to have on the people in this room?
The impact, I'm overwhelmed by the youth in this room, and that the fact that people showed up. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I mentioned to her that I was going to be here. She listens to me talk about this stuff all the time. She said, "No, I think I'll pass today, Dad." And so I'm just excited to see young people here interested. And I would just say the thing to take away, if you're hearing it from everybody up here, that you should take ownership over this. This is part of taking ownership over opportunity in your life, and this is part of taking ownership over being a part of the things that impact you. And I would just underscore that there are many different ways to get involved, whether it's volunteering, whether it's selling something, watch party, but also think about collaborating with other people. If you are a rapper, maybe you are not putting on your own event, but maybe someone else is putting on something and they need some entertainment. They need a draw for people to come in. So if people collaborate and think about what others are doing, that creates energy that other people might be drawn to. So find creative ways to get involved and keep that interest up. Make sure your interest just grows from now through July, please.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is that this is your convention, okay? This is your convention, this is your hometown. I know I'm speaking like an outsider right here, but this is your home, and this is your convention, and we want you to touch it and feel it and be part of it, literally as much as you can and as much as you want. And so we think that by everyone being here tonight, we think that the want is significant, and I can't wait for your questions. But this is your convention, this isn't ours. This is for all of you, for all of your friends, your neighbors, your family, your peers, people who couldn't be here tonight. And we know what we know, we know what we don't know. And we know that you are creative, and you know this community, and you know the people who are here, and you're gonna know what they want, and what they wanna see out of this convention, what they're gonna wanna touch, what they're gonna wanna develop. So be in touch with us would really be my final piece here. Don't be shy. We are very open with our phone numbers, our emails, our website, and we're real people. This isn't going to some robot off somewhere. This is going right to us. And so let us know what you are thinking, what you are feeling, and what you are wanting. There is no idea too big, too small, too weird, too mainstream. We want to hear it all. So be in touch with us and own this convention.
I think the big thing is, a lot of you probably didn't know what this was coming into it. You didn't really have an understanding of the opportunity that this could be. And hopefully we're leaving you with some hope that there is opportunity and there is something that you can participate in. And I think the big thing is making sure that, at least for me, I didn't know these opportunities existed because I never knew this existed. And being involved, being engaged, saying, you know what, I'm gonna come to a meeting and hear what this is about. And then all these ideas start kind of running and all these things start kind of moving. I hope that that's what you're leaving with, and that you have an open door to us to be able to reach out and to be engaged and to work very closely with us to make sure that this is successful, because it is in your neighborhood. And you are putting your best foot forward, and this is a chance to highlight Milwaukee in the world stage. Everyone in the world will see this. And that's something that you should also recognize, that even after we're gone, after the convention is over, people, this is the first time that they're gonna see Milwaukee, they're gonna come to Milwaukee, and they wanna fall in love with it, and you want them to continue to be here. Because, again, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, but I'm proud of that rough neighborhood. When someone comes to my neighborhood, I'm like, this is it, this is it, this is it, and you just have this home pride. And no matter how tough it is, no matter what it looks like, this is still home. So for you, I think it's really showcasing that. And Milwaukee's a beautiful city, and there's areas of the city that hopefully folks are able to go to because there's other parts outside of the downtown. And again, for the youth that are in this room, I never thought that I would be where I'm at. My mom didn't realize I had a real job up until I went to go work at the White House. She was just like, he's off doing something. Because you're kind of bred into success, at least in the immigrant community. It's you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer. And that's great. You should strive for that. Or a doctor. You should strive for that. But there's other opportunities, there's other things you can do to be successful. There's other things you can do to make a difference, to be involved, and to be happy. And that's what I think people should just, I hope you take away from that, at least from my personal story.
So thank you so much for listening through the panel. I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes. Y'all can get up and like shake it off because it is like really quiet in here. There's some more snacks in the bag. Take a bathroom break. But when y'all come back within like 2 or 3 minutes or whatever, I'm open up to the public. So I'm ready with questions.
Thank you.
For them. So it's almost like she was asking, instead of saying go online, because it's like a job fair. You go to a job fair and they tell you to go online. So what are you guys setting up for the people to actually get face-to-face interviews and know more about the internship and know what actually is a delegate and a caucus? So they'll know what they're signing up for, so they'll be excited. Because the way it was presented is like, I want to do that, you know? So what are you setting up? Are you working with job service? Are you working with the schools? What are you doing to actually get the young people involved? And another one, so I've been in contact with the mayor and the alderman of a certain area because for broken windows. I just recently started taking the bus, and there's areas in the city that look awful. So what are you gonna do about that since the whole entire city is supposed to be involved? Are you just gonna play like it doesn't exist and and hope they don't go down that street? So what are you guys gonna do about getting the entire city involved?
I'll start with the first portion of the question, which I think it's a great point and timely, because I was just speaking with Rashida Cogs before she took off, who suggested that we make sure that we connect with the young people who are here. And I know what you're saying about them taking off, but I mean, we got to give it up to them for being here in the first place. But we want to follow up with the people who were here this evening and talk about things like that. Okay, so this was sort of the first step. You were here, you learned a little bit, maybe heard some terms you weren't familiar with before, but we want to connect with them on a deeper level and make sure that they understand a little bit more about some of the elements that we touched on and how they can continue to get involved. So we're being very intentional about being out in the neighborhoods. We actually have a partnership where we're working closely with Milwaukee Public Schools on doing projects out in different schools. Each month we're going out and talking to people at different levels of schooling and talking kind of directly about what this convention means and how people can get involved. So we're not just going to sit back and wait, and we are doing events such as people signing up on the website in person, so that it's not just, hi, nice to meet you, go on the website, good luck, but we're showing up with computers and people who can help people sign up and people who can answer questions on the spot. And so if you stay tuned, we'll be doing more and more of that throughout the city.
Can I get one of the mics?
I think there's a couple, we're gonna roll out an internship program. We're gonna hire an internship team that is gonna go out to the community and recruit people and be out there and make sure that they're not just going to the big universities, but they're going all over to be able to engage with folks. So that's gonna roll out. I think that's a way for that in-person, in-face discussion to happen, because you're absolutely right. Sometimes what it seems like you send a resume in and you never hear back. Or it feels like, you know, maybe they see me, or maybe like my resume isn't as strong, I'm better in person. You know, we want to make sure that people have that opportunity. I think as far as broken windows, like, you know, we're not here to solve all Milwaukee's problems. We're not here to do that. But what we can do is make sure that when we hear stuff like this, take it back and say, hey, you know what, this is what we're hearing when we go out to the community, that there is real concern around these specific issues when we meet with the mayor, when we meet with folks. And hopefully that helps. But I think the real thing is making sure that we continue to do this and we stay in touch. And that when you have real concerns, you bring them up to us, because we want to be helpful and we want to make sure that when we leave Milwaukee better than we found it, right? We want to make sure that folks feel that they've been engaged, that they've been listened to, and that the Democratic Party is here for them.
Thank you for that. Do we have another question?
Sorry, Judge Michael, it wasn't.
Wait, no, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, we
My
have.
question wasn't answered. How are you gonna get the entire city of Milwaukee involved? Like, so, I know you guys said you're gonna have things placed in different areas, but are you intentional about getting all the area involved?
Yeah, so
And not just the cute areas?
we're gonna hire some teams that are gonna go out and reach out to different areas of the community and be engaged with them, work with the local nonprofits in those areas, partner with the big national ones that care about a lot of the issues that folks may care about here at the local level, and make sure that we're bringing people out to showcase the entire city. And you can talk about more of the team that you're gonna have.
Yeah, so to even drill it down a little further, we are the first host committee to hire a department specifically focused on intentional inclusion, diversity, and equity. We are the very first host committee to do that. So we have a full-fledged team, and like I said at the beginning, you are only as good as your team. So we were extremely intentional about the organizational chart that we put together to make sure it's not just one person whose title is Director of Cityscaping, the cute parts of Milwaukee. I hear you, I know exactly what you're saying. We feel very confident in our relationship with the mayor and with local government, and this is certainly something that we will bring back to your city leaders to talk to them about. I also, in the vein of we're about to have company, we hope that communities will look around and say, what do we need to be doing to clean up a little bit? And we might not have delegates staying here, we might not know who's coming through, but someone on that bus is going to see that broken window. What do we need to do to empower communities to make them want to beautify themselves from within, to be proud of the company that we're having? So we are gonna do exactly that. Have no doubt that we're not just going to the cute parts of Milwaukee. We're gonna be everywhere and you will see us. And if you don't, you'll know how to reach us and tell us that you don't see us. So hold us accountable, please.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Our next question?
All right, hello, my name is Myron. I think it's very obvious the United States has a very large issue with mass incarceration, with only 5% of the world's population and 95% of the world's entire prison population. And Milwaukee being the epitome of this, in zip code 53206, 95% African American, with the highest incarceration rate in the nation. I think people in Milwaukee are tired, and we don't have any solutions coming from leaders. Okay, and to have these people come here who don't know about Milwaukee, whether they're from the United States or from anywhere else in the world, I really pray to God that they talk about our situation here, because it's ridiculous. I mean, the amount of people sitting in jail, waiting for a trial. They have not even been convicted of anything, and they're waiting in jail just because there's no lawyer, no public defender available for them. I mean, the incarceration in this city is ridiculous, in this country it's ridiculous. But in this city, and I really hope these candidates talk about that and that they hear our voice, because enough is enough.
I don't really talk about this often, but when I talk about being raised by a single mom and growing up in a rough neighborhood, my mom was incarcerated when I was in high school. I know firsthand the impact that incarceration has on families and on people. And I think that every single day, that's something that I wake up and think about. On the 10-year anniversary when my mom was released, I accepted a job at the White House. From having nothing, no heat, being poor, to 10 years later accepting a job at the White House. because the Democratic Party is the one that gave me an opportunity. And I worked extremely hard throughout to be able to get to where I'm at. And I hear you 100%. And I feel your strength, I feel your passion. Because again, I know firsthand what it's like. And there is people that are going to come here and talk about that specific issue. There is people around the country that care about that specific issue and are working hard to. And I commend you for being so passionate about it and working towards it. And you're not alone when you talk about it that passionately.
Oh, this one? Thanks, Fred.
So I have a question. How are you getting more than nonprofit organizations involved, and when will we know? I'm a part of Milwaukee Urban League, and just a side note, we just had a panel on the table event about the incarceration and the impact it has on families. So we have a part 2, so we can talk about that later. But about nonprofit, how are we bringing that to the forefront for this?
Well, as you know, I will be on a panel for the Milwaukee Urban League later this year. But in addition to that, I think one of the areas where our nonprofits are really going to be helpful is in finding those 15,000 volunteers. Milwaukee has a very robust nonprofit community, and there are people who really know how to get some things done, and we do not want to reinvent the wheel. We've got people on our team and on the DNCC side who know how to put on conventions, and we have many people in Milwaukee who know how to connect with, many people being the nonprofit community that know how to connect with people in this city and in this area. And so we will be tapping them as we create our volunteer network. There will be many opportunities for this nonprofit community to be involved. I think in addition to that, I'll be talking to nonprofits on the business side. So it's not just from a volunteer standpoint, but as you know, the Urban League is a great example of the fact that we often think of nonprofits as maybe just helping people in one sort of way, but there are nonprofits that are helping grow businesses. There are nonprofits that are helping to ensure that people not just have like the basic services that they need, but that they're able to grow and create something that is sustaining many families. And so we'll be tapping those nonprofits, talking with the different ethnic chambers and many different organizations to ensure that people have opportunities on the volunteer side, but also on the business side.
I also want to acknowledge Nyesha Blandon, who's in the back right now. She's our Vice President for Engagement and Opportunity. And Nyesha oversees a significant portion of this work that we've been discussing today. This is the perfect example. She might not have been on this panel, but she's in this room. And Nyesha is out in the community every single day, meeting with organizations saying, how do I get your organization to plug into our work, in particular into our volunteer effort? 15,000 people is no joke. We're gonna need a lot of friends, we're gonna need a lot of help, and so Nyesha has spent a significant amount of time on the road, going from organization to organization, asking that very question. So thrilled that she's here. Also want to acknowledge Jim Milner, who's our Chief Diversity Officer, is here. So just for everybody who has been in the room this whole evening, when I talk about having a department, this is what we're talking about. I have the 3 senior members of our team here in this room for you and for your amazing work, and we're so grateful for this audience you've given us. But we are we're practicing what we preach, and we're here, and we're going to keep being here. And if we're not here, tell us where we need to be, and we'll get there.
The other thing is, if you are a local organization and have a national affiliate, you should reach out to your national affiliate about the work that if they're planning to come, and about doing something together with them. That's a really important thing that you should do. I'm engaging with folks at the national level from all types of organizations that are going to be reaching out to their local affiliates or looking for their local affiliates to help anchor something, and that's a first good step too.
How specifically can youth get involved? How specifically can youth get involved?
So just to reiterate, we are so excited about our internship program. So to be even more intentional than just saying go to Milwaukee2020.com, which we hope that you will. My personal email address is lgilbert@Milwaukee2020.com. My name is Liz Gilbert, lgilbert@Milwaukee2020.com. And so if you want more than just going to the website, shoot me a note and I will walk you through the process. If your friends have questions, I will personally do it. I hope you understand from being here this evening how much it means to us that young people are involved and touch this convention. This is a very, very serious thing for us, and so we want you to be engaged. We want all you to be engaged. We want you to touch this and feel this. We want you to apply to intern. We want you to volunteer, and we want you to tell us what we don't know. So like Lafayette has been saying, and like we've been saying all night, you will have those creative ideas. You will know the things that we don't know. We don't totally know what is cool and what is in and what is serious right now and what we need to be doing. Come tell us. Shoot us a note. Be in touch with us. Let us know where we need to be, and we'll be there. And so I would say the tangible step, just because I'm feeling the sense in the room, everyone's like, you're talking up here, let's bring it right down here. Sign up if you want to intern or volunteer. We will plug you in. We have more work than we know what to do with, so there is no shortage of tasks that we need accomplished, so be in touch with us. We have work to get done.
We have time for 2 more questions. Anybody have another question?
It's for, sorry, I'm Taliesin with the Journal Sentinel. My question is, what is your biggest concern for each of you moving forward, and what are you doing to address it?
Like personally? How I'm gonna stop eating this cheese and these burgers. You made me eat a cookie. I mean, for me, in the work that I do, is making sure that everyone has a great experience here. They're traveling from all over the world and all over the country to be part of this, and to go cast their ballot to be for the next nominee of the Democratic Party. And you have a lot of puzzle pieces that you need to fix. If these important, picture like every important Democrat in every state and every ego, good and bad, are coming to Milwaukee, and I have to deal with them. So in the immediate dealing with some of that is kind of the way that I'm working towards it. But then building out a great team that's able to handle that incoming is what I'm focused on, and making sure that people get to see the city and people get to be involved, and that it's a diverse set of folks that are coming.
Biggest concern for me right now is everybody in this room, including the young ones who have left us, leaving here saying, nah, don't care. Nah, don't need to do anything with it. It won't touch me. It won't have anything to do with me. I have no place there. It doesn't matter. That's my biggest worry. And so we will work every day to make sure that people feel the complete opposite of that and are rushing to our website or wherever else, to every event we will do, rushing with extreme enthusiasm to be involved and feel ownership over this event.
Along the lines of what Liz said, I think my biggest fear is that talented, young, black and brown people don't have hope or belief that there's any opportunity for them, and they either leave Milwaukee or they take a negative path. And so I'll be working every day to make sure that people believe there's a real opportunity here, and connecting them with opportunity so that they stay and they do things that enrich them and their communities.
Is this our last question?
It's actually
Yeah,
one more after it.
Oh, I don't know. It's
Hey, go ahead, go ahead.
questions.
No, one question.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for Madam Secretary. Good evening. My name is Frank Peter Thomas Belstrade II. I'm still alive. Well, hey folks, let's get this done. Let's get the job done. I've done a lot of work with, whoops, girl flipper, no biggie. I'm glad I finally found you folks, because this was a nightmare tonight, trying to get over here to get to this meeting, but I found it, I'm here. And I will give you my word, as a man, that we gotta get this job done, because we gotta get someone in office that's gonna do the job right. See, I served 14 million years in the United States Army. I've seen too much violence. When it comes to my home, well, we gotta get with the program here, because I do a lot of work throughout the city of Milwaukee too, yet. I'm gonna be 57 years old this year, December. And they got me. They got me hooked. I'm here, and I will do whatever it takes. I do a lot of work with the African American community and Hispanic Latinos. So I'm talking to some of my teenagers right now, say, hey, look, we really need you here. You can do a lot of things. You can do stuffers or whatever. God bless you all for being here. Bless everybody and your families for being here tonight. This is very important, folks. We're at pretty much the crossroads, and we better get the job done right, and we need every one of you here. Thank you, and that's it.
We do have one official last question. If people can just hold out for just a few more minutes.
Hi. My question is about zoning. When it's time to go vote, they move the zoning. Like, your address is here, you go here every year, then it was time to go vote, they were sending us everywhere else. And if they're gonna rezone, they need to let us know before the day it's time to vote. Because a lot of people are not gonna keep transferring from place to place looking for where to vote. They'll just give up. And I seen this happen the last time it was voting. And I didn't understand how did my zone moved without me knowing. So, yeah, that's like at the last minute. So we're gonna be able to address that before the last minute?
Yeah, so we are working to help train a bunch of volunteers and to get engaged and ultimately turn Wisconsin blue again when it comes to the presidential race. You all turned blue in 2018 through amazing work, and there's going to be a large effort to make sure that people know where they should vote, when they should vote, and that they should vote. So we hear you, and that's something that we're going to work on, and the party's going to work on to make sure that that doesn't happen. Thank you.
So I just want to thank you all for coming. Before you do go, have to plug in our media company and our needs. In the end, everything will be carved in stone.